Hey Whitley, this is Truman. I just wanted to give you some feedback on your job packet, and I thought I would give you some audio comments to see how you liked that. We'll start here at the top. This is just a note that I want you to check out later. It tells you where you can, well, obviously, tells you where you can check out this video. So, let's see. Here, you do a really nice job of starting out saying exactly what you're applying for, where it was posted, very clear. And then you move very quickly into this bit of information about working at Doe Anderson, which is really quite impressive. Well done. Now, there you mentioned Doe Anderson, and then down here at the bottom, you also mentioned some information about Doe Anderson, and that's great. However, between those two elements, you don't mention them at all. For these 3 paragraphs, you talk entirely and exclusively about yourself and your own experiences. What you really need to try to do is talk about your own experiences and be much more explicit about the ways that those experiences can inform the work that you can do for, let's see, who are you for? I don't even know where you're applying. Right, Johnson Walter Thompson. Okay, so yep. So when you talk about this information, you really need to think about you talking about the relationship you're going to have with this company, rather than you're looking to the past. What you need to do is look to the future to explain how your experience will affect your future endeavors with this company. Now here, when you go back to talking about the company that you're applying to, you actually stop talking about yourself. So it's either one or the other, and really you got to focus on talking about them at the same time. Get that potential employer thinking about the two of you working together. And then here at the end, you do a really nice job of talking about setting up an interview, being clear about when you're available. Yeah, so there's a lot of good things here, but there's several things that I think you could work on to improve it. Regarding your resume, a couple things. I'm just going to start at the top. The first thing I notice is that you've got 3 different fonts and 2 different colors that can be a little bit busy. So you might want to think about reducing this just down to 2 fonts. And then the fact that you've got 1 font here and then another font here, which looks like maybe Times New Roman or something, and then something down here which maybe looks like Palatino, something, I'm not sure. It gets a little bit disorganized. It would help if this stuff right in here were black like the rest. It wouldn't stick out, be more balanced. You know, and I'm not quite sure why you only use this font with this one piece and this font with this one piece. And then for the rest, you use one singular font for the remaining parts of the document. If you want to use multiple fonts, one thing I would recommend is maybe choosing a font for these headings here, and then you know, maybe a sans serif font, which means it doesn't have these little marks at the edges of the letters, like on that C and that T and at the end of that J. You know, you might want to do something more simple, like I can't think, like Helvetica, for instance. And it would provide a nice contrast to this font down here, make it nice and readable. Also would help to separate different elements. You've got a great sense for your right margin over here. Easy to navigate according to the date. And over here, you've got your bullet points lined up very well. Do an excellent job there. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that this stuff is awfully spread out, and there's a lot of white space in here. And my first impression was that, oh man, that's kind of a waste of space. But turns out your resume is actually long enough to justify going on to the second page, so that's not necessarily wasted space. I think you actually use it pretty well. One thing I did want to mention, when you go onto the second page for your resume, you always want to have your first and last name listed at the top of this page in case things get disorganized, lost, whatever. People can know what the second page of your resume goes back to. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to mention? Okay. Here, this is your letter or your memo to me. Now here, you say other information can be found about JWT on almost any advertising industry website. I'm not sure, but you didn't actually present any of that other information to me. All you did was go to the JWT website, and you know, that's really only one source. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. And also, you don't really talk about any of the parts of Module 12 that you put into practice. So actually, there's still a lot of work left for you to do here on this memo in terms of explaining how you applied stuff from the class in order to inform some of your decisions on your resume. So that is oh, right, and this JWT information, this section right here, I'm not sure why you included it. It doesn't actually present much information. It's basically just a list of clients, and it's not clear to me how you actually used that. And then when you do actually visit their site, you've got the job description. But I was pretty explicit in class about saying that the job description doesn't count as a source of research. So when it comes right down to it, you actually haven't included either one of the required research sources. So I just wanted to give you some of this feedback so you have a better idea of where I came up with the numbers for your grade. And I encourage you to send me an email or talk to me in class about any questions you might have, or strategies for revising if that's something that you would like to do with this document. All right, I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you soon.